creativity is a skill that comes with practice, and it's not like there are a lot of people who believe that people are born creative, or there is talent, and that's what it is. Well, to a large extent, there are people who are talented in all of that. That's fine, but that creativity is quite different. As in, that's more of the artistic creativity, and even that can be honed, of course. However, what we are focusing on when we say creativity is not so much about the artistic talent. It is more about thinking out of the box, being able to connect the dots, like fragmented dots, perhaps, being able to connect those, being able to sort of express and put random things together and create something out of it, right? How do you create a solution where there isn't anything available to fall back on? So these are the kind of things that creativity sort of comprises of.
Welcome to episode 7 of the Learn and Unlearn podcast, where I have a conversation with Anusha Stephen. Anusha is the co-founder and CEO of The Talking Canvas, an art platform for encouraging and enhancing creativity in children. Join us as we discuss the definition of creativity and the importance of creativity in today's context. Welcome, Anusha. It's a pleasure to have you in the show.
Thank you so much, Gautam. Happy to be here.
To start with, can you tell us what the Talking Canvas is about?
Sure thing. Yeah. So the Talking Canvas was started by me in 2018, along with my sister Jisha. We started the Talking Canvas as a way to sort of, showcase kids' creativity. That was the intention, and the name itself, the Talking Canvas, is about providing a canvas for kids to create magic. So that's what it was all about: giving them a sense of expression, giving them a platform to sort of showcase their creative skills.
I must tell you that the Talking Canvas in itself is a very creative name.
Thank you so much for that. It was thanks to my sister. She was the one who coined that name, and as soon as I heard it, I thought it was very apt.
True. Can you tell us about the journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I've always been interested in art. It's something that I felt very passionate about. But like most of us, you go through life, you kind of go through different journeys, right? The corporate experience and all of that. So you're busy after a while trying to make it big and all that. You forget about what your passion is and everything, right? So it took me a while to sort of figure out that art was something that I wanted to pursue. So it was when I was in Singapore with TCS. I was working with TCS, and I did a stint in Singapore. While I was there, that I sort of started getting back into art. I used to go to this art cafe and paint quite often. And I really it started getting to me that okay, this is what I enjoy doing. It's the process of creation. It's the experience. It's like I was at peace doing that. So that's when I decided that when I get back to India, I'll probably do something in this space. So that's how the Talking Canvas sort of started to take shape. But it was much later that it sort of actually took shape, because when we got back from Singapore, coming from again, a middle class kind of family, you have a lot of obligations. You have your EMIs and loans and whatnot, right? So you need to take care of a lot of these things. So again, I continued to work for a while trying to figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to build it up. And it came a point where I sort of decided that I will create a platform which will work towards enhancing creativity or showcasing creativity. So that part was clear, and it sort of made sense to start with, make it a platform for kids, because at that point I realized that even in the corporate world, right, there was a lot of innovation and creativity. How do we get build these skills? And we felt that coming from an HR background, there was also that. feeling that the lack of creativity and innovation skills at work was so high, right? We used to have so many different workshops and how to build that skill up, and it always felt like maybe it was the foundation that was required more than at that level. So I thought, why not start working with kids? Give them the platform and help them build it up, and make it a process, right? The way they think, the creative thinking skills itself, make it a process rather than waiting for them to figure it out later. And so that's how it started.
Can you also tell us about your entrepreneurship journey? I guess you went through the IIM program, right?
Right. So yeah, when I decided to do something on my own, it was a journey truly, because it's not like I know some founders have this thing that they suddenly decide this is what they want to do and they just go after it. But for me, it was quite a bit of a journey where I knew that it was something that I wanted to do in the art space, but not really knowing what or how to go about it. And so that's when I came across this IMB Women Startup Program. I did the program, and it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a good group of 50 women, who I learned a lot from as well. It sort of helped me understand how to create a business model, how to go about it, build the concept out, see if it works. So that's what I did. I went about trying it out, created a small prototype, checked if it works, if people are willing to pay for it, all of that. And then when I kind of got the confidence that people were willing to pay for it, and that's when I registered the company and I quit my job and all of that. Yeah. So it was a very difficult decision, of course, because your family is used to you working somewhere, getting a regular paycheck. So it's quite a risk that you're taking without having uh, taken care of all your other obligations, right? So it was quite risky, but then there comes a point, I think, when you know that it's the right thing to do and you just want to do it. So that's how it started for me.
Very true. Can you tell us about the importance of encouraging creativity in children and the impact you have seen in children after they attend the workshops that you conduct?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, creativity is a skill that comes with practice, and it's not like there are a lot of people who believe that people are born creative, or there is talent, and that's what it is. Well, to a large extent, there are people who are talented in all of that. That's fine, but that creativity is quite different. As in, that's more of the artistic creativity, and even that can be honed, of course. However, what we are focusing on when we say creativity is not so much about the artistic talent. It is more about thinking out of the box, being able to connect the dots, like fragmented dots, perhaps, being able to connect those, being able to sort of express and uh, put random things together and create something out of it, right? How do you create a solution where there isn't anything available to fall back on? So these are the kind of things that creativity sort of comprises of. So that's what we are focusing on. So if you really look at the concepts of creativity, there's knowledge, there's creative thinking, and there's motivation. So these are three areas that we are looking to help kids, right? So one is to help them with the knowledge that is required. The other is the creative thinking, which is demonstrable, right? Let them get hands-on knowledge of it, get use different resources around and create things. That's the second part of it. And the third is the motivation. So when they create something and they get to share it, the motivation and the inspiration they get through that is something totally different. So that's the kind of journey we want kids to experience. And the reason for that is also because innovation and creativity maybe 10 years ago was one, maybe a skill required, one of the 10 skills required, like it would be a 10th rating or something like that. However, today's day and age, it's gone up to the third spot. So it is so important and vital, because the environment is so uncertain, right? We don't know what's happening, how things are happening. We don't know what jobs of the future will look like to a large extent. And having creativity as a skill is where you can apply yourself in any profession. It doesn't matter whether you're a doctor or an engineer or a maybe a designer. It doesn't matter, but everyone needs creativity skills. So that's what we are trying to help kids understand and learn, and also sort of educate parents on. And the second part of it, how do kids reciprocate, or how do kids react to this? What we've seen is that so far, I think I don't believe, maybe there are, but I don't believe too many brands have been able to create an inspirational platform where kids are able to see what is the outcome of their creativity, what happens to it finally, right? And that's what we are able to show them. So most often in the past, obviously, parents make it a keepsake, and that itself is enough motivation, of course. However, we've taken it to the next level by using it on products and showcasing it to everybody, and it becomes something that they see other kids wearing it, and they see their own names on the product, right? So we have on all the products that we make with kids' drawings, we have a little signature of the artist. So if you see the reaction when the kids see this, and they get their own T-shirt with their design on it, it is really it's really amazing. I mean, they send me such cute videos sometimes. Parents send it back saying this is the reaction, and it feels very, very, very good. Like you're doing this for the right reasons, and you're able to give them a platform where they are able to sort of uh, imagine, visualize, and create something. That whole joy of creation is what it is.
Wonderful. As you mentioned, creativity is very much essential now,
Yes, absolutely.
given the situation where technology is taking over the execution part. So we as humans can focus on the creativity part.
Correct. And also, more often than not, I think traditionally we've always been good at incremental improvements. As a workforce, most of us would have looked at something and said, "Oh, I can improve it by this much." That's what creativity was largely about. But we are just trying to challenge the status quo and see how can we spin the problem on its head, and be able to, maybe change the whole process itself. Why an improvement on it? So that's the way we want to be able to think, and the kids for the kids to be able to think as well.
Mhm. Can you tell us about the products that you offer and the activities that you conduct?
Yeah, so we have three different line of products. One is we have a course. It's a doodle course for kids where they can create characters from their imagination, and be able to bring it out on paper. So we've noticed that a lot of times uh, kids are quite happy to create stuff on their own, but they need little bit guidance on maybe how the expression, what it looks like, what what it sort of what others understand from it, right, when they see it. So the doodle course is all about that. It just helps them sharpen that knowledge of how do you create a character of your own, and how do you give the character a character, right? So that's what it does. We have a range of DIY art kits, and one I can give you a couple of examples. One is a t-shirt painting kit where they can they are given some guidance, but they can make their own design and wear it, which most kids really love doing. The other is a stuffed toy painting kit. It's right now we have two versions, a unicorn and a dinosaur. And they can make it their own. So it's called My Pet Project. So it's almost like making their own version of a pet. And we are creating more such products to give kids that whole joy of creation, helping them maybe go into this fantasy land, like where they have all these new things that they can make. So that's what we are trying to create, a whole range of activity kits like that. And the third is the whole design by kids merchandise. This is something that is extremely colorful, fun, quirky designs which kids have created. And we convert them into designs and get them out on t-shirts, hoodies, all of this right now. So we have a whole range of them. It's all 100% cotton, and it's very good quality and fabric. So most parents and kids, they love wearing them as well.
Interesting. What do you
Yeah.
think should be the role of children in ensuring that they spend time in improving their creativity skills?
Yeah, I think if you let kids be, or be, during that whole playtime, creative playtime itself, they will be doing a lot of this, and it's about encouraging that a little bit more. So if kids can continue to work with newer experiences, right? Like it's not getting the same experience again and again, but and I'm not saying it's not just all about art and craft. There are other ways to do this as well. So whatever those different ways are to put themselves in different experiences and be able to sort of be curious about it, question the status quo, understand that whole experience and come out of it, that itself is like great learning. The other is to sort of participate in a lot of any sort of these challenges and games and things like that, right? Because it sort of makes you think differently. It sort of forces you to think differently. So just to give you an example, on our website we have this whole imagine section where kids can take part in certain challenges. So we have something called spin and doodle. So the spin wheel keeps going around, and where it stops, whatever it shows up there, then you just doodle that. Or we have this half art contest. So we give them half the art and ask them to complete it. And it's really beautiful when you see what they're able to create out of it and how different kids think. It's the same half art that you give, but every child sort of completes it very differently. So these are the kind of activities that will also force them to um, think out of the box. It sort of pushes you in that direction. So it's great for kids to like do more of these kind of activities, more of using resources around them, right? Everyday resources around them to create products. So I think that's the best way for kids to really work on their creativity.
Very true. And I especially like the part where you mentioned using everyday resources to create products.
Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
a very interesting perspective.
So we have a whole range of tutorials that can use everyday products. And I think, growing up, a lot of us have done that as kids, and then slowly it sort of moves away. But while doing it, a little bit direction in terms of challenging ourselves, or somebody else challenging us a little bit, right? For example, if you were to create a, uh, let's say, fish aquarium using a cardboard box or whatever. So then you're really trying to see what are the things around the house that I can use to create this and make it look good. So you're creating a beautiful piece of art, and also you're using things around, and it really challenges you to, come up with things with minimal resources. I mean.
Absolutely. What are your plans for the future? Do you have any plans
Yes.
for expansion or to offer any different kinds of products or workshops?
Yes. So, the talking canvas, we've kind of pivoted slightly from just being about enhancing and showcasing creativity to being a platform where we want to be able to provide a lot of anything that will sort of enhance and showcase kids' creativity, right? Any sort of creativity development programs, art kits, or challenges, everything that can really push that creative thinking element. So that's what we are working towards. So we will be launching more programs for kids. So it could be things like, maybe let's just think of maybe create your own small community or a township. It could be anything like that, right? So have development programs which will give them some amount of guidance, but also leave it a little open ended for them to come up with their own things and be able to create it. we will have more and more DIY art kits that we will launch. Again, all of them with the aim of improving visualization, imagination, and being able to conceptualize what they have in their mind. And we will also be increasing our whole design by kids range of merchandise. Currently, we only do t-shirts, hoodies, but there is really no limit to what it can be on. Like the kids' art can be on any sort of merchandise. It could be home decor, it could be crockery, it could be anything that uh, we use day to day. And if we feel that the kids' art can be heroed on any product, then we would want to do that. So that's the direction in which we are heading. We will be working on all these three different lines, and being able to give kids a platform which sort of shows them, not, I mean, which gives them the learning, and it doesn't stop with the learning, but it also shows them the outcome of what they've learned. So whatever output comes from the courses might even become input into our Design by Kids range of products.
Mhm. As a parent, how do I submit my kids' design?
So we have a design lab page on our website where a lot of the parents do submit their kids' drawings on it. So the fun thing is that we get some really very unique, very different things. However, we also would like to tell the parents that it's not so much about um, just submitting and wanting to see that output on something, but it's also about encouraging the child to possibly take part in a lot of our contests and challenges, because then there is a certain direction in which it goes. And for example, we know that in summer we want certain kind of designs. So then we run challenges and contests which are relevant to that, and then it becomes easier for them to participate and submit. So that will be the best way to do. But of course, anyone can still submit through our website directly, even without participating in the challenges and contests. What we look for is original, unique drawings. When I say original, what I mean is not just that the child is drawn, but the child is drawn from their own imagination, not something that is copied from an internet image or a book or something like that. And something that looks maybe unique and has a character. So it could be a stick figure, but if it uh, looks like it has a character which we can reproduce and commercialize, then we will definitely take it up.
It has been an amazing conversation, Anusha. Thanks a
Thank you
lot for
so
your
much,
time.
Gautam. Thank you for this opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening, and I'm sure you liked it. Please share this episode with others. Let's meet in the next episode.